Hello, everyone. Now, reviews are very much a subjective topic, but I want to cover some of the worst IGN reviews that I've ever seen, as I've seen some that I just strongly disagreed with, and I've been someone that's defended IGN a lot, but I just think that with the recent release of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, which has been a fantastic game, many places are giving this like a 9 out of 10. It's probably the best Dragon Ball Z game that we've ever seen, and possibly the best anime game that we've ever seen. However, IGN has just recently given this a 7 out of 10, which is the same thing that they gave Concord, a game that didn't even last 2 weeks before Sony pulled the plug on it. So I just want to discuss some of the worst reviews that IGN has ever given. A lot of people know the too much water meme, as they gave one of the greatest remakes that we've ever seen a very bad review, but I want to cover all of these, as I highly disagree with the Sparking Zero review here. Now, a lot of their critiques were that like they like Budokai Tenkaichi 3 a little bit more, and also that the music's a little bit bad, the cutscenes aren't amazing. I mean, this game is meant to be played as if you've known the Dragon Ball story. I've looked at all their previous Dragon Ball reviews. Xenoverse 2 got a 7.5, I think it was. Xenoverse 1 got a 6.7. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot only got a 7. People meme on IGN being 7GN, and it's no more apparent here after this game only got a 7. I'm not saying it's a perfect game. I feel like an 8 might have been a much safer bet. Like, this is the game here. I love it, personally. I am a big Dragon Ball Z fan. I've played all the Dragon Ball games that have come out, and this is definitely the best of them. So, they've reviewed some of the other ones, like Budokai Tenkaichi 3 got an 8 out of 10. Not saying that this game is perfectly better or anything, but I think they improved on a lot of things, and I disagreed heavily with what they said about the game. So I just wanted to touch briefly on this because I've been loving that game, and I don't think a 7 out of 10 is accurate whenever they gave things like Concord a 7 out of 10. This game, they must have been paid a lot of money to have been reviewing it this highly, because Concord was not good. I'll just be straight up honest. The character designs were ugly. The gameplay itself wasn't bad, but I mean, Concord is a very, very fun sci-fi shooter that shows real promise but lacks both innovation and content at launch, which, yeah, no innovation there. I wouldn't even go to say it was very fun from what I've seen. But yeah, they gave this a 7 out of 10. So this is also, IGN has gave She-Hulk an 8 out of 10, which is some people's least favorite Marvel show. And not saying that their show reviews, again, there's many different reviewers for IGN, but just to go to show, their reviews may not always be the best. Now, one of the worst reviews that I've ever seen was for Alien Isolation. They gave this a 5.9 out of 10. That is insane, because Alien Isolation, if you look at other reviews for Alien Isolation, it got much better reviews from pretty much every other outlet. Metacritic 79. GameSpot also pretty spotty for the reviews. I'm not a big fan of what GameSpot does in terms of the reviews. They oftentimes will give things very low reviews if it's a good game, because they found it frustrating. Alien Isolation is kind of frustrating. We'll even look at Kotaku's re-review here. I believe it'd be even better. Like, they would probably give this a higher, like 8 or 9. It is a good game. And yeah, this game was very revolutionary for its time. I don't think that a 5.9 out of 10 was very accurate of a score for this. Yeah, I was just mind blown by this this review. And if you've played Alien Isolation, yes, it's a scary game. It seems like this person just, yeah, it says terrified and killed us dozens of times. That's the point of the game. It's meant to be scary. They probably just had a little bit of a, maybe they pooped their pants while playing this. I don't know, but a 5.9 is awful. I know in the future IGN has made fun of themselves for giving this such a low review, but I just don't know. They're even posting about Alien Isolation 2 confirmed, because this was just recently confirmed. And yeah, I think that this has got to be, I would say this is possibly their worst review ever. For a game, 5.9 is just rough. This is basically telling you it's, yeah, mediocre when it's got one of the best AIs in a game ever, with the alien kind of figuring out your own playstyle. Maybe it was too scary for them. I'm just going to give them the benefit of the doubt there. But that's just one very clear example of IGN just completely bombing a review. Now, on to the too much water, Pokemon Alpha, Sapphire, and Omega Ruby. So, this game here, this game was reviewed initially, regular old Ruby and Sapphire got a 9 out of 10 from IGN. This was a incredible remake. I would say this is better than the original Ruby and Sapphire. If you're going to play it, you should play Sapphire and Omega Ruby over the originals. So many quality of life changes, so much new content. It's in 3D. The game runs better, but they said too much water, which they've scrubbed from this review. That was one of their negative points for this game. It's still in the video, so you can see their review video of that. But yeah, they removed the too much water because they were getting memed hard. Like there's a whole meme page on this. They gave this a 7.8. So they took off 2.2 points off of what they previously gave it. I guess they gave it a 10. Yeah, this is just a very bad review. To say it's a good game when it's improvement over the original is just crazy to see. And then they gave things like Pokemon Sun and Moon a 9 out of 10, which I think is crazy. Pokemon Sun and Moon was a game that it has a lot of problems. It holds your hand way too much. I've played every Pokemon game. Big fan of the series, but this game is not better. Same reviewer gave Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire a much lower score. This game, too much hand holding. They just focused on the positives, but as far as Pokemon fans go, they usually hate on or they hate on Sun and Moon compared to what they gave this. So, yeah, 9 out of 10. Modern Warfare. We're gonna get to Call of Duty games in a moment. But that's at 7.8. They also gave Pokemon Sword and Shield a 9.3. Best games in the series, streamlining its most tedious traditions without losing any of the charm. A lot of Pokemon fans also don't like Sword and Shield. I think Sun and Moon is more hated, but a 9 versus 9.3. When they gave Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, one of the best Pokemon games of all time, 7.8 is a little bit disturbing, just to say. I think that is pretty crazy. I mean, I like this game personally, but I don't think it's amazing. It's probably like a 7.5 for me. Maybe they were paid for this review. I don't know, but I still feel like that's a very high score for what a lot of the other Pokemon games have done, and especially Alpha Sapphire, Omega Ruby. So that is a little bit unfortunate. Now, getting into some, I mentioned paid reviews. I feel like this one potentially could have been a paid review, because if you played Call of Duty Black Ops 3, you would think it's just a mediocre at best game. I've played all the Call of Duties as well, and this game is not what they reviewed it as. They gave this a 9.2. Amazing. This game is not amazing. Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2 were pretty good games. I wouldn't even put, maybe like an 8.5 for them at best, but a 9.2 for Black Ops 3. It does have a good zombies mode. I give it that, but I do think the older Call of Duties almost had better zombies modes. This one did get a lot of DLC, so at time of launch, I don't think that this is a very accurate review. So, yeah, I think that this was a bit of a crazy one. And on top of this, so they gave Black Ops 3 a 9.2. Advanced Warfare, one of the most hated Call of Duty games, Advanced Warfare got a 9.1. Faster and more focused than any Call of Duty before it. Faster was the biggest complaint about this game. Yes, you move quicker in it, you dash around, it's just harder to play because people are zipping around the map a lot. I play this game quite a bit, and I was sick of it. I didn't like it. I just played it because that was all my friends were playing, and they didn't like it either. And a lot of people reviewed this and said it was pretty rough. However, those two shooters got way better reviews than 2016 Doom, which got 7.1 for good. This reminds me of the Sparking Zero being a great game that's better than some of the predecessors, improving on a lot of things. The only release in the franchise or that type of game for many years. Sparking Zero was 17 years, and it just got a good. So, yeah, Advanced Warfare 9.1, Call of Duty Black Ops 3 9.2, Doom 2016 7. If you played all three of these games today, you're very likely to have the most fun playing Doom. And if you've never played any three of these games, you're looking for a shooter, I would recommend playing Doom. But if you want to compare them, I would just compare them and see if you agree with my opinion here. I think Doom is the better game. Not to say they're bad games. Call of Duty obviously knows how to make games, but I just think that these reviews were a little bit much in terms of it. So this is also a company that gave Mass Effect Andromeda a 7.7. This game, I've played all the Mass Effect games, big fan of them. This is like a 6, I would say, or even a 7.7. That's rounding up to an 8-ish. Like that's too good of a review for a game that, I mean, BioWare has a lot of bangers on their title. But, yeah, this one is not that good. So, yeah, a little bit silly to see that. Halo 4, however, got a 9.8. Halo is in new hands, but guess what? 343's debut is a triumph. Bungie's Bungie. Halo 4 is a triumph. That is some really wild stuff to read. If you've played Halo, Halo 4 is one of the most hated by the fan base. Halo 3, one of the most beloved. To get a better review is just it's just crazy. So I don't know if this is just Halo or if this is just IGN favoring a popular game here, but this is just a bit of a crazy review. Halo 5, Halo 3 got a 9.5, Halo 2 got a 9.8, Halo Combat Evolved 9.7. To give a higher review to Halo 4 than Halo 3 is just spitting in the face of every Halo fan. And Halo Reach, 9.8 is just crazy to me. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like that's a bit wild. Now, one thing that also rustles my jimmies, they gave The Last of Us Part 2 a perfect 10. They gave Last of Us 1 a 9 out of 10. I feel like those should probably be reversed, and even this game, I don't even think deserves a 9. I did not like this game at all, and I'll be honest, I loved The Last of Us. I loved the very first game. The TV show, incredible. This game, I don't think was that great. I'll be fully honest with you guys. You can see the leaderboard. Not doing too hot. Many people agree that this game is not as good as the first, but they reviewed it higher. I don't know. There's a lot of people upset about this at the time of review I remember seeing. I just don't agree with this review, so I'll be fully honest with you. Perfect 10. We do have one more 10 that I disagree with, but we're going to go back to FIFA 12, which I think is a hilarious review to give a 9.5 to a old soccer game. A 9.5 for a game that gets a release every single year. Yeah, I just think this is a bit wild to see. EA Sports made this, EA Canada. I'm from Canada, I should be supporting this, but to give a 9.5 to a game that's an annual release is a bit absurd, because this game didn't make really much improvements over the previous games. I don't play FIFA a whole lot, but I went through a phase in university, and yeah, I just don't think that that's a very accurate review. When Sparking Zero got a 7, it's just, that's crazy. Finally, Deathloop, masterpiece, 10 out of 10 game. What was going on here? I seriously don't know. A 10 out of 10 for this game. It does have a cool time loop mechanic, but I don't think this game's a 10 out of 10 by any means. It's a good game, yeah, don't get me wrong, like a 7 or an 8 out of 10 maybe at best. But yeah, Arcane, great developers. I just don't think this is a 10 out of 10. I don't know why they gave this a 10 out of 10. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on some IGN reviews that I think were very bad reviews. Again, I've defended IGN in the past. I think that some of the reviews are good, and they give decent breakdowns of games, but it just goes back to the first thing I said here. Reviews are subjective, so don't take these all at face value. The person that reviews it they might be playing a game that they don't like, and that's going to come through in the review, like the Alien Isolation getting 5.9. And Sparking Zero, maybe the person that plays that just hates Dragon Ball, and to play Sparking Zero, you kind of have to know Dragon Ball, because it's throwing you into their wacky world, and it's just full of some crazy stuff that, if you don't understand what's going on with these characters here, this is going to look weird to you. Maybe that person just isn't a Dragon Ball fan, but this is an incredible game. I just want to talk about this because Sparking Zero deserved better than a 7 out of 10. And if you're thinking about getting this game and you're a big fan of Dragon Ball, I would just recommend getting it because I think this game is incredible. So there were some of the worst reviews from IGN. I just want to give my thoughts on that. Please hit the subscribe button below if you appreciate or enjoyed this video. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.